Hi, everyone. My name is Karishma Panwani. I'm the Director of Academic Product Management here at Maplesoft, and it's my great pleasure to talk to you about our new solution for building student success. Now, I only have 30 minutes, and I want to get it to the demo, so let me just dive right in. So in the US, about 25% of all first-year university students don't complete their program. And similar trends can be seen in many countries worldwide. And as you can see on this slide, this is an issue particularly concerning both STEM and non-STEM programs, students in both of these programs. And while there are many reasons why students drop out, a common theme that keeps coming up is the struggle with math. And while this is concerning for many reasons, it also has a significant impact on institutions. For example, one university in the US reported a loss of $4.6 million in tuition revenue when just 7% of its students dropped out. When focusing specifically on math and science students, the loss was about $500,000. And while the financial impact may not be as dramatic at the college or high school level, the issue of student dropout remains a critical concern across all stages of education. And as I mentioned earlier, a key reason students drop out, according to both educators and students themselves, is that they don't feel prepared. And unfortunately, math instructors often don't have the time to catch students up, especially when there's a wide range of preparedness levels in the classroom. And despite available supports, unfortunately, many students are not taking advantage of the resources like tutoring sessions or office hours that are made available by their institutions. And so when students fall behind, they're more likely to drop out. So how can Maplesoft help? By providing students with a platform that empowers them to succeed in their math courses from the first year and onward. Now, our approach, and as you'll see this in the demo, it meets students where they are. They're studying at 2 a.m., whether that is because they're working another job or they have other commitments. And a key part of this is it's not adding additional burden to instructors. Really, the approach is very student-centered, and it's helping institutions retain students and protect their tuition revenue. And so now I want to kind of show you how the Student Success Platform works. So Laurent covered this a bit in his talk, but I'll quickly summarize in case you missed it or need a refresher. So the Student Success Platform features a mobile app that students use to practice and study. It enables them to visualize problems, check their work, and access STEP at any time, whether that's at 2 a.m. or whenever they find time to study. Now, what sets this apart from what they're already doing? We know students are using a variety of apps, some effective, some not. Some use these tools for learning, while others may cheat. And while we might wish things were different, we know the trend isn't going anywhere. The real benefit of our platform is that you, the instructor, finally has insights into how students are interacting with the app, allowing you to see where they're struggling and to take action before it's too late. Additionally, since the data is captured at aggregate, students can feel confident that no personal information about them or their usage is being tracked. It's a win-win for everyone. So where do these insights come from? They originate from what we call that middle portion over there. It's the analysis hub. It consists of AI with the expertise of a human in the loop or a dedicated education platform expert. Now, together, these two entities analyze aggregate usage data from the app alongside with any course-specific information such as the course outline, and any available instructor feedback to identify where students may be struggling. Instructors receive reports on student performance, and students are provided with targeted resources to help them succeed. Something to note here is that instructor feedback and participation in the program are optional. Even if they're busy, students will still receive the support that they need. And we did this very intentionally. We want students to succeed, and the burden shouldn't be placed on the instructors. Now, my favorite part are the resources. The resources provided are not just any resources. They're specifically tailored to address the challenges faced by the class. If the entire class is struggling with a particular question or a concept, there will be a dedicated resource for that issue. The resources are made available quickly and come in a variety of formats. There are custom tutorials, visualizations, interactive explorations, review sheets, so on and so forth. And the resources are delivered through Maple Learn, which along with the Maple Calculator and Maple are all included in the platform. And the best part is that the instructors don't have to do anything extra. If they want, they can certainly review and request changes, but the platform operates seamlessly, providing support to students without adding to instructors' workload. Now, instructors who want to participate in the program can request supplemental materials for use outside of the platform or can use Maple or Maple Learn to create their own customized resources, enhancing their teaching and better meeting student needs. And so here you can see on the slide, I'm not going to read them to you. The Student Success Platform offers a number of different advantages, but instead of me talking through it, let me walk you through it. Like I want you to see it in action. So for this next part, I want you to imagine I am 25 years younger. I'm a student, first year student at an institution. And let's say I'm taking a college algebra class. Now the platform works for any first year math course, but for this example, I'm taking a college algebra class. So here's a sample worksheet or a practice sheet that maybe I'm working on. So you see that over here on your right. Now, let's say I actually attempted to solve the problem. So problem number D. I can check my work by taking a picture of my handwritten solution and importing it to Maple Learn with just one click. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So in a moment, you should see, hopefully, you should see my phone. So here's my phone. I'm connected to the Maple Calculator app. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and take a picture of what you see on the screen. So now I've taken a picture here, and now I'm going to show you. I'm going to go right into Maple Learn. I'm going to go into a blank document. As soon as I took a picture of this, I'm going to go to Cloud Expressions. You'll hear, this is my work. Click on it, and I enter it straight into Maple Learn. Now there's an option for me to check my work. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So I can click on this, and you see it's going to analyze my work and let me know where I may have made a mistake. Give me some feedback. It says to check this step. And now as the student, I can go through and start looking at what I made, where I may have made a mistake. So over here, I might notice that this should be a negative. I might change this to positive, so on and so forth. Let me quickly fix this over here. So I can keep going through this. I can fix this over here. Let me do that. And let's say I say x is equal to 6. Let's say if I did that correctly. Click on check my work, analyze it again. So I made another mistake. It says, please try again. I can keep doing this. Now, as a student over here, this works for all different types of things. It could work for differentiation problems, limit problems, integration problems, factoring, so on and so forth. This is just one example of what a student can do to get immediate feedback. Now back to this practice sheet. Let's say I was completely stuck. I didn't know what to do, as in the question over here at the bottom. Let me show you again what a student can do. It's 2 in the morning. I'm going to go back. And in this case, I need a little bit extra help. So I'm going to click on this. And this time I'm going to scan it. And I want to see step-by-step solutions. So I might look at this. I can look at the plot. And I can see the steps. So here's the step. And maybe this is enough to get me through at 2 in the morning. But what you'll notice is as the students are working through this, the analysis hub is kicking in. It's monitoring where students are getting stuck. And students will receive a notification on their phone, letting them know that there's new resources available to them. So you'll see they get a notification and then they can go to the portal. Let me show you this portal. So I'm going to go here, and you'll see this is the student success platform for the student's course. It gives them information on how to go ahead and access the tools. So over here, the student would just scan the QR code. Mentioned earlier that no personally identifiable information is captured. So as soon as a student scans this QR code, they're automatically registered into the course. Let's take a look at some of the resources. And now I told you before, this is where I get really excited. Because if I was a student and all the students in the class were having troubles with that question, they can go here and this is what they might get. So it's just gonna load. Here we go. So maybe they get something and it shows all of their different, the 3 problems that they were struggling with hints and with solutions. So they can go and see this and they can work through it. Let me show you some other resources. Maybe that question over here, maybe students were struggling with this factoring question. Maybe they need some more help. What they might get are some resources to help them factoring. So here they can shuffle cards, they can click the next card, they can flip the card. It gives them solutions. If the solution is more involved, they'll get a link to how to solve that step by step. And you can see. Whenever possible, the resources that are provided to the students are interactive. So in this case, this is an activity based on that question that they were given. So here they can move it. I want to put, and maybe my 0 is here. Go to my vertex, show the solution. And they would get something to practice. Or in this case, oh, they might get a different document. This is the wrong one, but they would get something else that corresponds to what they were working on. Some other things that I want to show you. Let's say students through the Analysis Hub, we realize that they're struggling with factoring. Maybe they need some overview on technique. So it could be that they receive a document on the cross method or whatever method. Or they need some additional practice. It would be here. And so they can look at this and they can look at the different steps. So they can click on this and see the step, or they can do it. Or they need some concept review material. So they might look at this and it would talk about the horizontal line test. The idea here is that the student gets tailored help based on where they're struggling. So now I want to show you what the instructor gets. So this was the student experience. Let me move to the instructor experience. Now, these are some of the insights that an instructor might view. You know, they might get some data on what percentage of the students are using the app for practice. How are the students accessing the materials? When are the students accessing the app and how long are they spending there? What percentage of students are looking at steps? What percentage of students are going to check my work? Where are they making these mistakes? Getting some insight into how students are approaching problem solvings. And overall, just being able to identify any gaps in knowledge or problems that the class is having and giving the instructor or their TA the ability to counteract. Not only that, and I mentioned this earlier, this is a solution that combines all of our different technology, combines Maple Calculator, Maple Learn, and Maple. All students get access to this. All the instructors get access to this. So instructors can continue to use Maple for their research. They can use Maple to elevate classroom learning. They can make use of Maple Learn. Everything is possible and it's all inclusive in the platform. And lastly, because I'm sure there'll be questions, right now, this isn't public, So there's a link over here that you can either scan the QR code or type in the link. We have a landing page where you can get a lot more information about the Student Success Platform. If you have questions, want to maybe or think it might work for your institution, you can request a meeting. We can chat about it a little bit more. We're running pilots right now, and so yeah, this is what we're working on. I'm really excited about it. Initial feedback has been very positive from the pilots that we've been doing, both from educators as well as from the students themselves. So I'm going to pause here and answer questions. Doug, great question about pricing. I will forward that question to the sales team and they can get back to you with pricing. I see, let me check the chat and see if there's any questions.
Thank you.
Here's another question. So one question is from Jonathan, is the ability to send photo captured work to MapleLearn available with the free version of MapleLearn? You just need to be able to create an account in order to do that. Here, the students are being able to, through the QR code, that's how we're being able to give them that access. Who maps the questions to resources, instructor or AI? Great question. The way we intend it to work is that the analysis hub consists of, as I mentioned before, AI and a human in the loop, so a dedicated education platform expert. They're monitoring usage data that is coming out of the app, along with materials such as the course outline and the syllabus. And so what they're looking at is ways where students are struggling, and they are creating the resources. Now, instructors who want to participate can preview any of the resources ahead of time, but for the instructors who want a little bit more of a hands-on approach, the student would get these resources. One of the things that we're trying to do is not bombard the student with resources. So it is looking at where they're really struggling, trying to pinpoint gaps, and then giving them those resources to help them. Oh, Paul, thank you for answering that question. Laurent, pricing. There's another question over here. Let me read. Sorry, I'm just reading this. I'll read it out loud. Is it correct that current Maplesoft software developments are mainly focused on university school grade math education software development with limited AI, coupling for a simplifying user interface only? So sorry, I'm just reading this. This is a great question. I think if I could be selfish, I think this is a question worth having in the networking session that we're having a little bit right after this. I think there's lots that we can discuss, and it would be a good discussion topic. So why don't I save that for the networking session? Melvin, there's a question here. Does your app include differentials? It does. Umar, is the Maple Calculator app free? So there is a free version of the Maple Calculator app, and there's also a premium version of it. There's no real difference in terms of the feature set. Really, the free version gives students unlimited access to step-by-step solutions. So there's a question over here about, is it possible to have it behind the front end of a web platform? Yes, so MapleLearn, the platform can be connected to an LMS system, can be connected to Canvas, so a student can go in and use that. I think. So Jonathan, your question is, if I understand this correctly, I can create an account for one of my students without requiring them to subscribe. Hold on. To premium subscription. So the way it works over here, we do this on a classroom basis. You saw that QR code. The idea here is with the Student Success Platform, there's a QR code. Students don't have to create an account. That's how they get access to the Maple calculator and they're enrolled into their class. The Student Success Platform comes with Maple Learn, and it comes with the full version of Maple Learn. Students don't have to create an account to use it. They have the ability to do it. Of course, if students want to be able to save their work, then they would create an account. But otherwise, it's completely, they have access to everything. So there is no need for them to provide or create a Maplesoft membership account. Are there any questions?
I have a question. And I've been texting back and forth, and I'm not a very fast texter, so I've decided to click
Yeah,
off my.
please.
I'm a tutor, so I'm dealing one-on-one with students. I don't have a classroom per se. I may have many students, but they are studying different subjects. So, but very often I will send them things, a link to Maple Learn that I've developed for them to practice with. But this sounds like something a lot more useful, where where I can find out what their issues are, or if they're using it or not. I don't really want to tell them you need to subscribe for this. They're already paying me. So I was wondering if as I said, I'm not a teacher in a classroom. I'm a tutor dealing one-on-one with students online. So will this work for me?
It possibly could. I have some questions, Jonathan. Why don't we take this offline and chat a little bit more, so I can fully understand? Does that seem reasonable? Yeah, okay.
Sure.
So I'm getting another question on, would this work for introductory statistics courses? Yes, it would. So it would work for that. We're developing materials over there, so that wouldn't be a problem whatsoever. College algebra, intro stats, looking at intro calculus courses, pre-calculus. So that's where our focus has been. And I'm just reading Boris's question. So Boris is asking a question. I'll read it out loud after I read it. And basically asking about whether we at Maplesoft plan to provide tools to assist future students with 2D or 3D geometric or algebraic tasks like proof. So we've definitely talked about this. It is something that is challenging. I'm not going to say yes or no right now. It's definitely up for consideration, but there's a lot to doing this. And so we want to make sure that we get it right. So Scott, question about the content. Yeah, the content is being reviewed by, we have a content team, a large content team. It's being also a lot of the times instructors are wanting to participate. They're looking at the content, and the idea is that that's being provided to the students. It's why it's not just AI. It's not just AI generating the content. The AI is helping to expedite some of the content creation, but it is all being reviewed internally by a large team, and before it is ever making it to the platforms for students. And so in some cases as well, when an instructor participates, wants to be involved in this, an instructor will sometimes say, for this particular topic, I like to teach it in a certain way. And the content then can be presented in that way to help the student. So we're actually in line with what the teacher and the instructor wants and not doing something different. So we are rolling it out Effectively, we're announcing it at the conference. This is a sneak peek, but it will be rolled out officially very, very soon. Like I said, we've already started doing some pilots. So if this is of interest, if you want more information, happy to, let me share that, my screen again. You can come click on the QR code, go to the landing page. There's a link over there. You can contact us and we can talk to you in more detail. Now I've lost my chat though, so let me go back here. Oh, thank you, Ethna. She put it in the link into the meeting chat, so please take a look. So at this point, if there's no more questions, I want to thank everybody for attending the talk. So we're having a question, will it be available in German as well? And the answer would be yes, there's nothing stopping us from making it available in German. I'm going to give everybody 3 minutes to take a little bit of a water break. I hope to see you in the networking session. There's been a lot of interesting conversations in the chat, and I think that will be an opportunity for us to discuss in a larger group. So please join the networking session, and thank you very much.